Have you ever heard a whisper with no source, a voice that chills your spine? Picture this. A man, recently moved into a creaky old house in the countryside, finds himself awakened each night by whispers. They're faint, almost like a breeze passing through ancient walls. These are no ordinary echoes. They speak of hidden truths, secrets that the house has swallowed over decades. The whispers tell tales of sorrow and betrayal, painting a picture of a past steeped in tragedy. But the whispers were just the beginning. Imagine seeing a shadow that moves against the light, defying the laws of physics. In a quaint, dimly lit hallway of a newly rented apartment, a young woman encounters just that. Each evening as the sun dips below the horizon and the artificial lights flicker to life, an unexplained shadow emerges at the far end of the hall. Initially, it appears merely as a subtle distortion, a trick of the light perhaps. But as nights pass, it becomes more defined, more sinister. The young woman, both intrigued and unnerved, notices the shadow inching closer to her bedroom with each passing night. Its form is elusive, never quite materializing fully, yet its presence is unmistakably felt. She recounts lying in bed, the silence of the night punctuated only by her own breaths, and watching as the shadow pauses just outside her bedroom door. The air grows thick. The darkness seems to pulsate. She's frozen, caught between curiosity and dread. What would you do if the shadow started reaching for your door? Behind a wall in a basement, a hidden room holds secrets soaked in dread. Imagine the shock of the Harris family, who, while renovating their old, creaky house, stumbled upon a bricked-up doorway after hearing persistent, eerie knocking. With curiosity overpowering fear, they removed the bricks, unveiling a room shrouded in shadows and thick dust. Inside, amidst the cobwebs, lay personal effects scattered around: a faded photograph, a worn-out shoe, a child's cracked toy. But the most chilling discovery was a diary belonging to a man who vanished without a trace over 50 years ago. The diary's entries started ordinarily enough, but soon spiraled into frantic notes about nightly visitations from a figure with glowing eyes and a whisper like the hiss of snakes. The final entry was a desperate plea for forgiveness, scribbled in shaky lines. "It's too late for me. I've seen too much. May this room keep it contained." They sealed the room for a reason. A photograph captures a moment in time, but what if it captures more than that? Imagine stumbling upon an old camera, its leather case worn and dusty from years of neglect. Inside, a film roll awaits, filled with black and white images of a familiar setting. Your own home, but from decades past. As you flick through these frozen slices of history, a chill crawls up your spine. In each image, an unsettling detail becomes apparent. A pair of eyes, clear and unmistakable, peers through the windows of the house. These eyes, intense and unblinking, seem to be watching the photographer, an unseen observer to moments long gone. The curiosity turns to dread as the eyes appear in every single photograph, their gaze never wavering. You feel watched, the gaze from the photos piercing through time and space, unsettlingly aware of your every move. And in the last photo, the camera was inside the house. A phone call at midnight is rarely good news. But what if the caller is from another time? Imagine the chill that runs down your spine when, at the stroke of 12, your phone begins to ring, slicing through the silence of the night. Each ring is a harbinger of dread, but the voice on the other end is what truly terrifies. It's a woman. Her tone is urgent, desperate, as if she's calling from the depths of the past. This isn't just any call. This woman, with a voice like a ghostly whisper, claims to be reaching out across the decades. Night after night, she warns of a looming disaster, details blurred by the static of time. Her words, though cryptic, carry a haunting urgency, suggesting a calamity of unknown horrors. Then, as suddenly as they began, the calls cease. The night grows quiet once more. Not long after, the town awakens to the very disaster she foretold. Buildings crumbled, lives shaken, a community forever altered. The calls ended, but the mystery never did. Dolls mimic life, but what if one mimics it too closely? In the quiet town of Whitby, nestled between the rolling moors and the rugged coastline, a peculiar story unfolds. It begins with a little girl, Ellie, who receives a beautiful porcelain doll on her 5th birthday from an unknown elderly neighbor. The doll, with glassy eyes and a delicate lace dress, becomes her constant companion. As days slip into weeks, Ellie's mother notices subtle changes. The once pristine doll begins showing signs of wear. Not the usual wear from a child's play, but an unnatural, accelerated aging. Its skin cracks, its hair thins and grays, and its once bright eyes dull. With the aging of the doll, strange occurrences start to plague their home. Cold drafts fill the rooms, light bulbs flicker and shatter, and whispers echo through the halls at night. Ellie's laughter turns to unease, her nights filled with restless dreams. Driven by a mother's worry, Ellie's mother begins to investigate the doll's origins. Her search leads her to the town's historical society, where she uncovers a chilling tale. The doll was once owned by a woman accused of witchcraft centuries ago, known for her rituals that breathed life into the inanimate. The truth hits them like a cold wave. The doll was not just a toy, but a vessel, aging with the spirit it harbored. The doll aged, but the terror it brought was timeless. Fog obscures the visible, but sometimes it reveals the unimaginable. In the heart of a quaint, isolated town, enveloped by a dense, eerie fog that seemed almost sentient, the townsfolk whispered of shadows shifting within the mist. These were not mere tricks of the light, but silhouettes of a creature with elongated limbs and proportions that defied earthly norms. This wasn't the first occurrence. The elders spoke of an ancient curse cast upon the town centuries ago by a scorned witch, her wrath as thick and suffocating as the fog itself. Every few decades, when the fog descended like a cloak over the town, the entity would emerge, its presence felt more than seen, its intentions as obscure as the fog it inhabited. The chilling part? No one could ever predict its appearance, and each encounter left behind nothing but a pervasive sense of dread and unanswered questions. What did it want? Why did it wander? As the fog lifts, the fear remains.